Well, you get to this, level in the conference finals, it's not going to be easy for either team, and it wasn't. Both teams are laying it all on the line. That's the way it should be.
Bam's third and Goran's fourth. Again, we've been saying all year with your group, it doesn't have to be Jimmy. It doesn't have to be this guy. It can be multiple guys at various times in the game. Just how luxurious is that right now?
Boston was really getting us on our heels in the first half, and I don't think anybody was in any kind of rhythm or disposition defensively. And a lot of it was them. I mean, they were backing us up and everything. So I think Bam, really set the tone in that second half, along with Jay. And then our reserves came in and really gave us a boost defensively. That just took some of the pressure off of our offense. But Bam, was really assertive in the pick and roll. And that kind of loosened up some things, for us. But, games are long, and you just have to figure out different ways to impact winning. And Bam, he understands that. And Goran, their defense is really good. It's really good. They can flatten you out. And sometimes that's what is needed, for some games. You just have to create something out of nothing. And Goran was able to do that down the stretch.
Ira Winderman.
Erik, the return of the zone defense and staying with it even when there were some rough spots. Was that something you tweaked along the way, or is it the usual just do it better and you guys did it better?
I don't know. I have to look at the first half. There wasn't much that we liked about what we were doing defensively, man or zone. I know everybody wants to talk about a scheme. For us, it's disposition, it's effort, making tough plays, making multiple efforts, regardless of the scheme. And we were more committed there in the second half.
And then Duncan's play today, and again, you always tell us, you just know, keep shooting, it'll come around. One, how heartening it was to see the start he had to lift not only his confidence, but the entire team's confidence.
Yeah, and, his routes were very assertive. So whether he's making shots or whether they're chasing him off, that's critical to our offense. And it opens up other things. It gives us a little bit more variety to our menu. Yeah, he was much more aggressive without the ball. He was burning more calories for sure.
Rebecca Harlow.
Coach, yeah, Jimmy Butler was bringing the ball up the floor a lot in the fourth quarter there. Not only was he creating for himself, but Goran still hit some big shots. What did you like about putting the ball in Jimmy's hand late in this game?
Well, he's been effectively our point guard all year long. When Goran was coming off the bench with that starting unit, Jimmy had been our point guard or point forward or point two, whatever, it's none of the positions really matter anymore. But ball's going to be in his hands one way or another, or it's not going to be in his hands. It's going to be some kind of action with Goran. We're not giving up any trade secrets here. We know that. They know that. And you guys have to make plays. Jimmy only had 14 points, but boy, was he impactful. I mean, obviously that steal at the end and the deflection, there's just not many guys in this association that can make each of those plays at the top of the zone and then at the back of the zone. Just great plays.
Mark Spears.
Talk about just your thoughts at halftime and then what Bam did to spark you guys in the third quarter.
We were all disappointed. But again, like you get to the conference finals, it's not all about you. Boston had a lot to say about how that first half was going. I'd love to say it was just us and us going through the motions or anything. No, that was them putting us on our heels. And then, we started to attack the game a little bit more in the second half and get control of it.
Anthony Chang.
So there were some rotation tweaks in the second half. What did you like about what Derek gave you there in his 9 minutes there in the second half?
Yeah, he stays ready. You just never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. We've already seen it, so far. Things happen, foul trouble, minor injuries, and Dre wasn't able to go in the second half, and Derek has been keeping himself ready. He knew that he was going to be utilized, at some point, and he kept himself ready and gave us really good, active, energized minutes. I think that inspired some other guys as well.
What was it, the ankle for Andre again, or something else?
No, just a tight back.
Thank you.
Will Manso?
Spo, I know what you're saying about, two tough teams, and this is the way these games are, but you're 10-1 in these playoffs, and your team somehow finds a way. What is it about this team? You're down 17, you're down 13 at the half. All these games, no matter how they play out, you find a way to win, it seems.
I don't know if you can point to games in other series and see that there's a trend. Each game is different in the playoffs. Each series is certainly different. This, just the feel and complexion and the competition of this series is much different than our last series. So we can't even compare that. But this team, yes, the guys have grit. But you also have to do things, well, and you got to make some shots at the end and get some stops, and we were able to do that tonight.
Nick Friedel?
Bo, to follow up on that quickly, you've said all along how much respect your group has to have and has for Boston. But where do you think the mental toughness comes from your group day to day, game to game?
I don't know. Our guys have shared values about competition, and there's a respectful, competitive humility about how tough it is in this league, and how much toughness you need to bring, on each and every given night. That's probably all I have to say on that.
Dan Woike?
I know you said obviously everybody was disappointed at halftime, but you guys had, I think, maybe a 2-minute stretch right before the end of the half where Jimmy got a couple.
Yeah, that was an important stretch.
And there was this. Boston had a chance to score, and you guys got a stop right before the end of the half.
Yeah.
That seemed like it maybe propelled you guys a little.
Well, we thought a little bit better. It felt like we were down 30. And then we looked up and it was like 13. I was like, okay, well, let's see if we can get control of this game. I mean, that's how well they were playing, and it felt like that's how poor our defense was. And you just have to keep on competing and embracing, the challenge of a long game and trying to get control of it. That's ultimately what it's about.
Jeff Zilgit?
Erik, you guys started off so hot.
Yeah.
And then you started missing a lot. Were you happy with the threes you were getting when they weren't going down? And did you feel maybe you got away from some of your offense, going to Bam, getting the pick and roll going?
Yeah, it's a fine line. I think what it did was us making shots. It's the natural human condition. You think it's going to be easy at that point. We're a team that has to roll up our sleeves and dig in and defend, play with toughness first and foremost. And it felt like we were just trying to win the game by making shots. We didn't impose our will at all in the first half. They didn't feel us, notice us. We were just out there defensively. It's a fine line. They're a good defensive team, so you do want to try to get some easy ones in the open court, but if you're shooting too quickly, too often, and the ball's not going, then you have to read the game and adjust accordingly, because they were able to get some easy ones from our poor floor balance. But we'll look at that and see if we can find the right balance. In the second half, I think it was better, obviously.
Naveen from Rappler in the Philippines?
Hey.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Jimmy today had about 12, 14 points, and there's been some talk that he needs to be more aggressive. But with the way he's been playing, looking for his teammates and trying to see what the defense is giving him, are you happy with how he's approaching the game, or would you want to see him be more aggressive?
First, mabuhay, salamat po.
Thank you.
Secondly, we're not going to sit up here and try to educate everybody on what winning basketball is. That was winning basketball tonight from Jimmy Butler. It's not about that final line. The same thing with Bam the other night. I don't even know what Bam ended up with. from a scoring standpoint in game one, and I didn't know what he ended up with tonight. Those guys impact winning, and Jimmy did so many things in that second half that impacted winning on both ends of the court. Either the average fan sees it or they don't, but we don't care.
And our last question from Wes Lammy.
Spo, how gratifying was it to at least see the 3-point shooting in the third quarter build the confidence that you guys needed to carry on through the game?
Well, our guys are confident, taking those looks. We have a lot of guys that feel very comfortable out there, and that's part of our game. We're also an attacking, aggressive team, so we have to find that balance of doing both. And then you're trying to do that against a very good, well-drilled defensive team. But that's competition. That's the whole point of this.
Spo, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.